He's very delusional. He can't listen. If he was anywhere near that realm of Great Ali, he'd be able to take his kids to school by himself.
When two of the biggest names in boxing start taking shots at each other, the entire world gets invested in the drama, especially when it's your favorite boxing legend, Mike Tyson, continuously bashing the one and only Floyd "Money" Mayweather. Yep, you heard that right. These two have got blood that never seems to end, and I don't think it ever will, especially since Mike Tyson has come out and said this about Floyd. Get this, guys. Iron Mike is blaming Money Mayweather for ruining the sport of boxing. I mean, there's one thing called trash talking, but Mike is now throwing balls of fire here, guys. This heavyweight legend is leaving no stone unturned. You just know it's getting heated already. So without further ado, let's take a deep dive into this drama. Iron Mike and Floyd have been going back and forth with their feud for over 2 decades now. Now that's a pretty long time to hold a grudge if you ask me. But guys, here comes the interesting part. Their beef is not personal, at least not to Iron Mike. The reason Mike Tyson struggles to see Floyd eye to eye is that the heavyweight legend believes that Floyd has ruined boxing. Now that's a pretty big statement, and if I was Mayweather, I'd keep an eye close on this drama, because it does not end here. Let's just say Mike had a ton to say on how Floyd is the reason why boxing is not on the pedestal it should be. And it's mainly because of Floyd protecting his zero. Mayweather has an undefeated streak of 50 wins and 0 losses. Well, if you cherry-pick your opponents and take easier fights, having an undefeated record is not too much of a stretch then. This robs the fans of seeing the fights they want to see, which is exactly why MMA is flourishing, and boxing is just watching them reach new levels. Mike believes that the reason MMA is so much bigger than boxing is because their fighters don't care about protecting their zero. UFC is about making all dream fights come true, and boxing was also that until Mayweather came along. Mayweather is one of the most influential fighters of this generation, and every other fighter looks up to him. And according to Mike Tyson, that's the worst thing you can do, looking up to Floyd. Mike Tyson is the core of boxing. He paved the way for all future boxers, including Money Mayweather himself. So it's no surprise that Mike is upset with Floyd after he ruined what Iron Mike built. Just take a look at what this boxing legend had to say about this. Well, I think the issue in boxing, and you can blame Floyd Mayweather in this, is protecting that zero. He added, "We've seen some top MMA guys be involved in some good fights and lose and continue to be involved in good fights. Boxing can take a leaf out of MMA's book, UFC in particular, where top guys are forced to fight the top guys." Mike knows everything there is to know about boxing. So if he is saying something with chest, I wouldn't take it lightly. Mike knows the gravity of this situation, and it's getting worse. All other boxers who are influenced by Mayweather are now doing the same. They care more about maintaining their records than making all these big fights. Take Gervonta Davis, for example. He was introduced into the boxing scene by Floyd himself. And now we don't see Tank taking fights like Shakur Stevenson or David Haney. These guys care so much about the undefeated records that they do not realize how it's killing boxing. Fans rarely get to see their dream fights in boxing, so I wouldn't be surprised if boxing fans start converting to MMA fans. In a recent interview, Mike said, "We see the top fights happen. Spence vs. Crawford, it's unbelievable. It's almost like a surprise, and it shouldn't be." He is right! The fact that it's a surprise that such big fights happen in boxing shows where boxing has gotten over the past few years. Mike sees right through this facade, and he knows who to blame: Floyd Mayweather. If there is one we know about Money Mayweather, it's that he is not one to just sit around like a puppy and let Mike talk his piece. Oh no, if you thought Floyd was going to keep his mouth shut on this one, you got another thing coming at you. The American boxer fired back. He called Mike Tyson jealous for taking shots at his undefeated record. Now that's got a sting, and there's more where that came from. Money said Mike has always been jealous of his success, and he just does not want to admit that Money is better than him. Damn, I mean, he's got a point though. Mayweather is an undefeated legend. He has never tasted defeat in his entire career. Now we can't say the same about Mike, can we? Mike, on the other hand, has seen the ups and downs of boxing. He's not only seen a loss in his career, but has kissed the canvas too. But obviously you could argue Mike never cared about maintaining his record. He took all the fights in front of him. Whereas Floyd was smart, he cherry-picked his opponents, and not one of them caused him any trouble in the ring. He was more focused on building a brand, and so he did. I mean, there is a reason why he is the richest boxer of all time. Floyd lived up to his name as Money Mayweather, but it all came at a cost. and this cost boxing a lot. Surely Mike was not too happy about this, and believe it or not, it's Mike Tyson who is still trying to put up all these big fights in boxing. Fury versus Francis, potentially the fight of the decade. Mike Tyson helped see this fight the light of day, and he is more involved than ever. He's coaching Francis Ngannou to take Fury's head off. Now that's going to be an interesting one. This just shows Mike's commitment and dedication to this sport to this day. Whereas talk about Floyd, oh boy, he did more damage to this sport after his retirement than he did when he was still fighting professionally. Yep, that's right. After his retirement back in 2017, Floyd dabbled in influencer boxing and exhibition fights. Now, if you're wondering why, there's only one answer when it comes to why Floyd does anything, and it's money. Did you know that Floyd made $200 million by doing exhibition fights with a bunch of YouTubers who don't even know how to throw jabs? Now, that's low, even for Floyd. How desperate can you be for money? This didn't sit right with many boxing purists, including Mike Tyson, who saw what Floyd was doing as disrespect to all the real fighters who work twice as hard and risk their lives in the ring, yet they still don't make half the money Floyd does. I mean, they deserve it more than Floyd. Mike believes this is ruining boxing, as now more boxers are stepping into the influencer boxing world just to make more bread. The fans are tired of it. I mean, what do you expect? If a YouTuber takes on a pro boxer, that fight can only go in one direction, and that direction is the pro boxer destroying the YouTuber. This ruins all the fun and the suspense in fights. No one wants to see a one-sided beatdown. The fans want a brawl, and that is something you won't get until pros are fighting influencers. Floyd has not only ruined boxing in general by crossing over to the influencer realm, but he's damaged his own career as well. How can you claim to be the best of all time when you're fighting guys like Deji or Logan Paul? I mean, did you know Logan managed to hang with Floyd for 8 rounds? Now, if that's not embarrassing, then I don't know what is. Mike Tyson was furious when Floyd was doing all this talk about being the best. How can you be the greatest of all time when you couldn't even knock out a YouTuber? Mike was not having it. First you ruin boxing, then you say you're the best of all time. The heavyweight legend was not going to let this one slide. In an interview, Mike said, "He's a little scared man. He's a very small scared man. He's very delusional." Listen, if he was anywhere near that realm of greatness like Muhammad Ali, he'd be able to take his kids to school by himself. Mike added, "Okay, he can't take his kids to school by himself, and he's talking that he's great? Greatness is not guarding yourself from the people. It's being accepted by the people. He can't take his kids alone to school by himself." This boxing legend did not hold back with this one. And I don't know about you guys, but I get where he's coming from. Think of everything Mike has done for this sport, and for Mayweather to just throw it all out the window, and then have the audacity to claim to be the best ever. I mean, who wouldn't be furious? Well, we gotta see how this feud plays out. That's all I have for you today. Make sure to like this video, comment, and share. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you next time. Until then, peace out.